Hello everyone and welcome back. So this is my first video from being back, and as much as I really want to do Stupid Parasite, we're going to do Code Realize because I don't think there's been a Code Realize video for an entire week. So we're going to be continuing down the Sholmes route today. Hopefully my audio behaves itself because I broke my stand, so my mic is just in its desk mount on my desk, not in the spot it usually is, so I hope everything sounds okay. I'm just going to have to be very careful about keeping my voice high enough for my audio to pick up since I can't pull it any closer to me. The joys of technology. The frustrations that comes with breaking stuff. Parting from the mansion where I've spent my days together with friends, the next day I've decided to live at Sholmes' detective agency.
なるほど。
Is she telling people this? Or is he spying on them?
探偵さんから突然の呼び出しとは一体何かと思いましたが、そういう事情でしたか。
What I decided to do before anything was contact one of my friends and inform him of my present situation. Yeah, out of everyone, I think Saint Germain would probably be the most logical to go to as well. Regardless of what I plan to do from now on, I can't just disappear without telling them. A relaxing time passes in the park and the afternoon sun raining down on us. Sholmes and I exchanged words with Saint Germain, who appeared as the crew's representative.
つまりカルディアさんはしばらくそちらでご厄介になることにしたと。
Right, sorry Saint Germain. For you and the others have taken such good care of me, only for me to do something as selfish as this. Oh, poor Saint Germain. And Lupin, everyone who's in love with her.
まあ、随分と突然の話ではありますね。それだけ、あの真実があなたにとって重いものだったということでしょうが。
Perhaps taking Sholmes' presence into consideration, Saint Germain only says that much in sighs. In that expression, I saw no sign of the cold-bloodedness that he showed when he killed Venice. He simply smiled like his usual self.
私としてもいろいろと思うところはありますが、まずはあなたが無事だったことを喜んでおくとしましょう。あなたが姿を消したときは、皆とても心配していましたから。
I am so sorry.
その後、ショルメさんからの手紙が届いたときは別の意味で大荒れでしたけどね。
I know, can you imagine getting a letter from the detective about Cardia and be like, oh, what has she gone and done now? Quite a mess. I just left everything to Sholmes as to how to contact my friends. I shoot a glance over at Sholmes.
何か?
Saint Germain, what was the letter you received like?
こちらです。読んでみますか?
He's like, here, read it. Let's see.
カルディア君は預かった。詳しいことを知りたければ、ビクター・フランケンシュタイン、もしくはサンジェルマン伯爵。どちらか一方のみで下記の場所まで来られたし。名探偵、エルロック・ショルメ。
That's funny. It sounds like he has her as a hostage.
推進。誰かがこっそりついてきた場合、彼女の無事は保証しかねる。特に、ルパンは禁止とする。
Lupin cannot come. That definitely sounds like she's a hostage. What is this?
見ての通り、シャレの効いた招待状だよ。
I don't think you could call this a letter of invitation. It's more along the lines of a ransom letter. I know, right?
これが届いたときはもう皆揃って大騒ぎでしたよ。
Oh, I bet. How we get to see it.
ヘボ探偵 一体何の真似だこいつは。
彼女の所在が知れたのは朗報ですが、これはまた随分と挑発的な文面ですね。
つーか、なんでフランかサンの二択なんだよ。
そうだそうだ、落ち着きのない泥棒とザ・暴力メガネが仙外なのはいいとして、なんで俺までそれとも俺の恐ろしさに気づいて外されたりなんかしちゃったり、警戒されちゃう男は辛いね。
It's not easy being me.
ただ単に話が通じそうな順だろう。私は口の回る方ではないし、ルパンは奴の前で冷静ではない。ついでに言うならば、お前はお前だから外された。他に説明のしようがないな。
No other explanations.
ひどい。
くっそ、妙な条件つけやがって。出し抜いて吠え面かかせてやる。
ダメだってば。今は彼女の安全が最優先でしょ。僕と伯爵で話し合うから、みんなおとなしくしてってば。
とまあそんな具合でして、多少は腕に覚えがある私が代表としてこちらに伺ったわけです。
He says a bit of combat skill.
思った以上に随分と揉めたようだ。同情するよ、伯爵。
If they quarreled, I think it's pretty obviously your fault, Sholmes. But in the end, I'm glad it was Saint Germain to come, the one who would listen the best. After listening to the general situation of things, Saint Germain makes a light nod of acceptance. His narrow eyes bore a somewhat lonely, wavering light.
一人で思い悩む前に私たちに相談してくれなかったのは水臭いとは思いますが、とはいえその気持ちは理解できなくもありません。暖かくて優しい場所だからこそ逆に遠ざけたくなってしまう気持ち、それは私にとっても決して人事ではありませんから。
Saint Germain?
ただのたわごとですよ。お気になさらず。
He knows only too well what happens when you get too close to people when you're immortal. Wonder what he wanted to say. What was going on through his head? Finally, as if to reject my question, Saint Germain stands up and turns back to me.
ともあれ、事情は分かりました。ルパンたちには私から伝えておきましょう。心配する必要はないと。
Thank you, Saint Germain. I'll go and apologize to everyone as soon as everything's settled.
ええ。ですが、去る前に一つだけ言わせてください。私たちは誰一人としてあなたのことを怪物だなんて思ってはいませんよ。いつでも戻ってきて構いませんし、あなたの危機には必ず駆けつけますから。
Thank you.
それではエルロック・ショルメさん、しばし彼女の身柄をお預けします。
ああ、丁重にお預かりするよ、サンジェルマン伯爵。
Making an elegant bow to Sholmes, Saint Germain begins to take his leave. His kind words reverberated strongly in my chest. The truth about how I'm a monster, or not a person, it could have all been resolved right then and there had I just believed in and consulted them. Perhaps I never needed to run away from that gentle place at all. But I've already taken a step forward. Yep, you've already gone down all the routes.
苦しそうな顔をしているね。自分の決断を後悔しているのかい？
I would be lying if I said I didn't. But this is the path I choose. I can't be with everyone while still so insecure at heart. I just can't rely on Lupin and the others. I think I'll have to get stronger before I meet them again.
なるほど。それが君なりの決意か。私は応援することしかできないが、その考え方は嫌いではないよ。
Seeing Sholmes' smiles lightens my mood. Right, this is my own decision. I'll do the best I can.
では戻るとしよう。ワトソン君が待っているからね。まずは、切り裂きジャックの事件だ。協力してもらうよ、カルディア君。
Right, I'll do everything I can to help. My present self has no way of knowing whether this judgment is good or bad. I nod in response as I begin walking alongside him. Although I'm allowed to stay at Sholmes' detective agency, I'm still essentially a freeloader, and she who does not work does not eat. Clean. Phew, it looks a lot cleaner now. I brushed the broom from side to side. I've been cleaning the agency diligently since this morning. Alright, perhaps the windows next. First I'll wipe them down with water and... Oh, but then the dust will get on the windows, so maybe I should leave that for later.
その、カルディア君、
What is it, Sholmes?
本当に何も手伝わなくていいのかい？正直、手持ち無沙汰なのだが。
He's like, your busybodiness is disturbing me. My gentleman self can't let you do it alone. He asked me in a somewhat reserved manner, sipping his tea as he sits. Oh crap, I forgot to give out the things. We want his help. If you like, then of course, I'd appreciate your help. I quietly respond. Dusting, wiping, and cleaning the windows, scrubbing the mold off in the bathroom, organizing the bookshelves. There's plenty for you to do. After hearing those words, Sholmes rolls up his sleeves as if to say, leave it to me. But I restrain that gesture and stop him. Wait, Sholmes, I would certainly appreciate your help, but... To stay seated, it'll only get dirtier if I leave it up to you to clean. You'd be most effective right now as a decoration. Or, that's what Watson told me to say. How rude.
いや、待ってほしい。どうにも致命的な誤解があるようだ。その言い方では、まるで私が掃除一つできないようじゃないか。
No, Watson made it sound like that, not her. Well, yesterday Watson said...
おー、そうだ、ジョーちゃん。この事務所に滞在するにあたって一つ聞いておきてえことがある。
Yes, what is it?
お前さんはホームズについてどんなイメージを持ってる？
What kind of mental image? A sharp and quick-witted detective, an organized and mild-mannered gentleman?
よし、後半の認識は窓から投げ捨てろ。少なくとも事務所の中にいる間はな。
Throw the latter half out the window while you're inside his agency. He's not a gentleman in the agency? What do you mean?
あいつはな、単調な作業が大の苦手で、それはもう致命的に生活力がねえんだ。特に整理整頓や掃除はダメだ。あいつと一緒に住んでた時は、そりゃもうひどいもんだった。荷物は投げ出しっぱなし、脱いだ服は散らかしっぱなしは当然。たまによくわからん実験を始めては、そのまま放置して異臭騒ぎ。おおらかな下宿先の主人ですら、下宿人としては最悪の部類ってぼやいてたぐらいの男だからな。
It's really adorable that this detective, the elegant and refined on the outside, is a complete slob. Or something like that. Cleaning would end in disaster if you let him, so don't even give him the opportunity. He's at a loss for words. It's an expression that seemed to transcend words.
わかった。わかったとも。全くもって合理的な判断だ。
He doesn't even fight it. He's like, okay, fine, a given.
では私は邪魔にならぬよう花に水でもやっていよう。
Taking the nearby watering can, Sholmes waters the plants next to the window, giving off a sense of melancholy. Looking at him now, I find it hard to imagine that he's the same person who can skillfully corner Lupin. I feel like I've discovered an unexpected kink in his armor. But even if I were to disclose this info to Lupin, something tells me that he wouldn't be able to use it against Sholmes. I know, you can't use cleaning against him. Say, Sholmes.
何かな。私は今四つ葉のクローバーを探すので忙しいのだが。
That was completely random, but okay. He's moping. Oh, he's doing it on purpose. He's like, I'm busy over here not being useful. Putting aside his circumstances, I speak what's been on my mind. Sholmes, from what I gather, you and Watson really have known each other for a long time. I saw a picture of you along with Watson and his wife.
ああ、まあね。先ほども少し話が出たが、ワトソン君とは下宿先を探している時に知り合ってね。
The only part I remember about this route is their backstory. Kind of tragic.
彼が妻のメアリーと結婚するまでは共に暮らしていた時期もあった。それ以来の付き合いだよ。
I see, so that's why you two get along so well.
私にとってワトソン君は一番の親友と言える男だからね。もっとも向こうが今も私を友と思ってくれているかはわからないが。
What do you mean? Because you faked your death? Holmes didn't answer. He only gave me a vague smile in a somewhat lonely manner. What did he mean? Perhaps I should keep my nose out of his affairs. Just then, the sound of the front door opening.
ああ、今帰ったぜ。お、だいぶ綺麗になったじゃねえか。ジョーちゃん、いい仕事するじゃねえの。
Welcome back, Watson. How did everything go?
あ？どうもこうもねえって。延々と薄暗い下水道を練り歩いてネズミにでもなった気分だぜ。
Throwing himself on the sofa, Watson shows a weary face. Shouldn't you go shower then, if you've been playing in the sewers? Whatever. He's been out in the sewers since this morning at the yard's request. Seems that he was asked to accompany them as someone who met face to face with Jack.
うん。ということは、今のところ進展はなしだね。
ああ、そうなるな。一日中捜索はしてみたが、下水道つってもかなり広いからな。とにかくまあ、ヤードは引き続き調査中。近いうちに何かしら結果は出るだろうよ。
私が聞いた話では、この絵兵長のレオンハルト君も本格的に捜査に加わるそうだからね。仮に私たちが関わらなかったとしても、事件は解決に向かうだろう。問題はその後だがね。
He crosses his arms and closes his eyes, suddenly sinking into deep thought. Acknowledging Sholmes out of the corner of his eye, Watson gets up and rubs his stomach.
さてと、歩き回ったせいで腹空いちまったぜ。なんか適当に飯でも作るとすっかね。
It's funny that people don't even consider showers in this game.
ジョーちゃん、お前さん料理の腕に自信は？
Me? It's hard to have confidence in something you've never really done before. Back at St. Germain's mansion, MP was always in charge of cooking, so I left it all to him. Not being able to remove my gloves to begin with, my kitchen utility was a bit limited. Whether to cut meat or fillet a fish, it's not easy to cook without touching the ingredients. I'm not sure how he interpreted my answer, but Watson nods as if understanding.
ははなるほど。その分じゃお前さんも料理は苦手にしてる口か。
も
よーし、そういうことなら任せとけ。万能探偵助手たるこの俺が料理のさしすせそから教えてやんよ。
Sase suse so?
さしすせそ。つまりサプライズ、シミュレート。
おい待て、サプライズってなんだ。お前が言うと不吉だからやめろ。まあ別に俺一人で作ってもいいんだけどよ。野郎の手料理よりは女の子の手料理の方がお前だって嬉しいだろ、ホームズ。
まあ悪い気はしないね。
But I'm,
いいからいいから。ホームズ、キッチンとエプロン借りるからな。
Wait. He's not even listening to me anymore. It's even harder for me to refuse since there isn't even a hint of malice in his actions. Practically dragged away, I wind up helping out with the cooking. About an hour later.
よーしできた。愛情たっぷりオニオンスープとスコーンだ。待たせたな、ホームズ。
それは果たしてどちらの愛情なのか、口にする前にぜひ教えてほしいね。
The freshly cooked light scones and the aroma of hot soup are mouthwatering. The dining table looks delectable no matter how discerning the observer. So I remain silent about the meal assembled before me. After entering the kitchen, though he seemed concerned, Watson lost to my persistent refusal to take off my gloves. And although I knew full well how unmannerly it was, I helped cook while I kept my gloves on. For the most part, I helped with tasks such as stirring the pot and watching the flames, rather than deal with the ingredients. When kneading the dough, I'd put a piece of parchment between. And this is the result.
ありがとう、二人とも。では、早速いただくとしようか。
Wait just a moment.
あ？どうしたよ、ジョーちゃん。
Before you eat, there's something I feel like I need to say. Never did I think I'd be revealing it like this. Given the choice, I'd rather not disclose the secret that brings pain to my heart, even to mention. But I would be betraying Sholmes and Watson's kindness if I kept it secret. So I'm not going to keep a secret any longer. I can't go into specifics, but my body isn't normal. This body has a poison flowing through it, a deadly poison that can touch. This body has a poison flowing through it, a deadly poison that no one can touch. I breathe in quietly as I speak those words softly. About the poison that's been a part of me since as long as I can remember. I didn't remember if she told Watson or not. I know Sholmes finds out. It brings death to anyone who comes into contact. Such an utterance seems like a great shock to the two as they stare at me, half in shock.
だから防毒措置が施された。その手袋を脱げなかったと。
信じられねえな。俺はこれでも医者だぜ。そんな毒見たことも聞いたこともねえぞ。
You're going to perform a demonstration. Watch then. I take the glove off and gently pick up one of the spoons from the table. The spoon quickly melted and crumbled away, falling to the floor with a plink.
なるほど。以前列車の中で見せた君の不思議な力はこれか。
おいおい、マジかよ。完全に溶けちまってるぞ。こいつは毒っつうか性質としては酸に近いな。一体どうなってんだ。
I don't know the details either, and I can't explain it. But as you two saw right now, it's the fact that my poison melts anything. Sholmes and Watson's gaze are fixed on the exposed hand. My bare skin filled with poison, evidence that I am not human. Shouldn't have even said it. Feeling the sudden heavy atmosphere, I put the glove back on as if to hide my hand. Before me is a small plate of scones. The ones that I came into contact with when cooking were divided into different plates. Why is that? Even if it was through my gloves, who would want to eat food made by the hands covered in poison? So I'll eat all the ones I made. You two eat the ones that Watson made. As if to ward off the uncomfortable atmosphere, I take a scone into my hand and...
いい焼き加減だ。歯ごたえもあるし、ほのかに甘い。クロテッドクリームによく合いそうだね。
He's not gonna let you feel like a monster. Sholmes?
ああ。横からかぶりつくなんて、礼儀に反する行為だったかな。これは失礼を。
You eat it from the front. Why?
それはこちらのセリフだよ。どうして食べてはいけないのかな。
How dare you keep them from me?
料理とは食べるためのものだろ。
It's just, well, my...
このスコーンの中にも毒が混じっているかもしれない。それはありえないよ。
I know, it would be dissolved.
君の毒が効果を発揮しているなら、そもそもスコーン自体が溶けているはず。推理するまでもない。さらに言うなら、その毒とやらは水溶性ではなさそうだ。でなければ、先日の雨に濡れた時、それこそ周囲が大惨事になるからね。
I'm failing to understand the significance of water. It doesn't activate her poison, I guess. I couldn't help but stare at Sholmes in astonishment, and he smiles. Watching merrily, Watson reaches his hand out for one of my scones as well.
ホームズ、そんな理屈並べてないで素直に言ったらどうなんだ？そんな寂しそうな顔されたら男はほっとけねえってな。
まあ否定はしないよ。
Don't be sad. The two bring the scones to their mouths without showing a hint of hesitation. It worries me a little, but conversely it makes me incredibly happy.
何をしているのかな、カルディア君。食べないなら私が全部いただくが。
Right, I'll have some too. I want to eat together with you two.
だいたい私がってなんだおい。俺も食うっつの。
What? The scone I ate that day was so sweet that I was almost taken aback. So sweet. So much so that I temporarily forget that I'm the girl who holds the deadly poison. What about your wife, Watson? Why are you not home? One day in the afternoon, when the wind blows through the town as if to chase off the trails of steam, when I finally able to remember the placement of everything scattered around the agency, an unusual guest visits Sholmes' detective agency. Is it Lupin?
ショルメ殿、
Oh.
エルロック・ショルメ殿はおられるか？
そんなに大声を出さずとも聞こえているよ、レオン君。
Be quiet. Reinhardt, captain of the guard and a direct subordinate to the Queen, is taking command of investigating Jack's case. Thinking of the dangerous criminal capture at any cost, he's been requesting assistance from a wide pool, public or otherwise. And Sholmes, a private detective, is also assisting in any way possible.
それで、君が自らここに来たということは、何か捜査に進展があったのかな？
実は。
Lionheart's words stop mid-sentence. As soon as he notices me. Likely recognizing me, Lionheart's eyes go wide in surprise.
君は確かルパン一味の。
Ah, wait,
いや、皆まで言わずともいい、お嬢さん。
その様子を見れば想像はつく。
You've been rescued.
要するにあの泥棒たちと縁を切ったのだろう。素晴らしい、実に正しい判断だ。
Technically, he's a bit off, but I'll keep quiet and let him have his satisfaction. Or perhaps rather, I'm not confident that I could explain it properly myself. Having no idea of my mental state, Lionheart nods as if he understands.
話がそれているよ、レオン君。察するに持ってきたのは下水道の調査結果といったところかな。
うん。そちらの指摘をもとに、ここ数日我々が下水道の調査を続けていたのは周知だと思う。そして昨夜、ついに奴が神殿と称していたとおぼしき犯行現場を発見したのだが、そこは惨憺たるありさまだったよ。
Exactly the place that was the origin of the woman's scream I heard. The shrine in which her final moments were torn away from her, her cries seeping into the walls and floor.
我々が確認できただけでも、人の形をとどめぬ遺体が20体以上。
Gross.
凄惨な現場に慣れているものでも、とても生死に耐えぬものだった。
It was ludicrous for it to have such a name. It was particularly the most blasphemous place in the world. They were all Jack's victims?
胸くその悪くなる話だな。あの野郎、そんなにも殺しを。
だが、おそらくそれでも氷山の一角だ。私の見立てが正しいならば、全体の犠牲者の数はさらに増える。こればかりは推理が外れていることを祈るがね。
If Watson hadn't come, I wonder if my name would have been among that list of victims. If fear of death creeps up upon me, along with it comes an intense anger.
これだけの事件は英国史上でも他に例がない。断じて許すわけにはいかん。人を殺した者には必ずその報いがある。奴を捕らえて裁かねば天国の犠牲者たちも浮かばれまい。
Retribution. For some reason, Lionheart's powerful words that are supposed to be just stab at my heart. I hold my chest with quivering lips. Before I realize it, words leak from my mouth against my will. Is killing someone that grave of a crime?
当然だとも。英国法では反逆罪と殺人こそが最も重い罪とされている。たとえどのような理由であろうと、人の命を奪うことが罪でなければ何だというのだね。
どうしたジョーちゃん、気分悪いか？
このような凄惨な話、レディの前でするべきではなかったね。
許してくれ。我が輩の配慮が足りないばかりに。
Don't worry, I'm just a little dizzy from standing. I'm fine. Please continue with the conversation. Right. What we're discussing now has nothing to do with me. It should be completely unrelated. Nodding as he reads my eyes, Lionheart begins to lay out the documents.
犠牲者の身元照合については状況が状況だけに難航していたが、それでも根気よく確認した結果、ある法則性が浮かんできた。
これについては誰が見ても明白だ。失踪した日時と職業の相似だね。
Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes. Of the victims, approximately 90% of their reported time missing has been between Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The occupation sections almost have the same letters written. The times when the bodies were discovered was at midnight on weekends.
そして被害者は全員がホワイトチャペルにて娼婦として働いている女性たちだ。あの辺りには市民登録されていない人間も数多い。犯罪を露見させないつもりならあれ以上うってつけの場所はないだろうね。
あんだけ派手に犠牲者出しといて露見も何もあったもんじゃねえだろう。っておい、待てよ。今日は金曜だよな。
その通りだ。つまり
今夜にも再び事件が起こるかもしれない。そういうことだね。
I felt as if the sound of the scissors returned deep in my ear. Somewhere in this town, that sound will echo once more tonight within the fog.
けどよ、本当に今日事件が起きるとは限らねえんじゃねえか。ヤードが警戒を強めてるのはジャックにだって伝わってるはずだ。だったら予定を変更しておとなしくしてる可能性も。
普通ならそうだろうね。だが人物像を考えてみるに奴が狂気に陥っているのは間違いない。猟奇的な事件を起こす犯人は得てして常人には理解できないルールを自分の中で定める傾向がある。今回の例で言うならば被害者は女性のみ、週末、ホワイトチャペル。特に宗教絡みとなると根が深い。殺害行為を何らかの儀式だと奴が思い込んでいるのならば、ヤードがいるから中止するという理性を奴に求めるのは難しいね。
奴が今夜必ず犯行に及ぶという確証はないが、女王陛下のため、ロンドン市民のため、これ以上奴を野放しにはできん。かくなる上はこの我輩が女装しておとりになってでも。
I don't think that's going to work.
おさん、それ真面目に言ってんのか？
Everyone's voices sounds distant. You know, you could just ask the person who's already been a target. Deep beneath the sewers where no one goes, how horrifying it must be to become the target of that madness. Especially for a human with a life, it must be incredibly scary and painful. Shaking away the sound of the scissors that echo in my head, I quietly raised my hand. I can act as the decoy.
君が？その申し出がとても危険な行為だと理解しているかい？
I think I understand in my own way. I don't know very much about prostitutes, but I'm far more used to combat situations than the average girl. And I've already encountered him once before, so I might be able to tell if it's him even if he's masked and disguised.
それはそうかもしれないが、レディーを危険にさらすのはだな。
それに顔バレしちまってるのは向こうさんにとっても同じだろう。ジョーちゃんが出ていきゃ一発でバレる。それとも変装でもしてく気か？
Maybe he actually wants her. No, I'm going just how I am. You should know, Jack vowed to take revenge on me after I hurt him. So not only would I act as a decoy, but there's also a possibility of luring him for his revenge. Oh, he's like, I don't like it. I'm not just proposing this without any foresight. And if it will prevent any further victims, I think this is a worthwhile measure.
わかった。
At the end of a long and careful consideration, Lionheart nods reluctantly.
ただし、 危険を感じたらすぐ離脱するように。向こうの民を危険にさらすのは本意ではない。
That's funny. Okay, I promise.
心中複雑だが、その勇気に敬意を表する。英国の平和のために身を張ろうとは、まさに英国女子の鏡。
She doesn't even have to withdraw. Like, Sholmes will go in there and rescue her.
このランパール・レオンハルト、決して君の勇気を無駄にしないとここに約束しよう。
It really is loud. But if all goes well, we'll be able to capture Jack and prevent more victims. I look to Sholmes. He doesn't like it either. For some reason, he's been silent with somewhat of a frown since earlier. He didn't utter a word of agreement nor disagreement. He doesn't like it. Look at his face. Afterglow that announces the end of the day dyes the surface of the water with a blood like scarlet red. Coming in late after Watson and the others who wanted to go ahead and set up a trap, Sholmes and I walk around the river Thames as we slowly head towards Whitechapel. He's still silent. Sholmes still hasn't said much of anything since our meeting earlier. Even when I talk to him, all I receive are short responses. After exhausting my small talk, it's become much more difficult for me to talk to him. By the time Sholmes finally opens his mouth to speak, we've reached the end of our path.
その通りを曲がって北へ向かえばじきにホワイトチャペルだ。準備はできているかい、カルディア君。
Of course, though I'm not sure if he'll actually fall for it.
そうか。では行くとしよう。
As if to contradict those words, his feet stop completely. Sholmes? The red sunset casts a dark shadow behind him as he stands quietly.
一つ聞いていいかな。君はなぜ自らおとりになると言い出した。君は一度切り裂きジャックと遭遇した。殺人者の凶器を間近で見て退治した。その上で奴の前に再び身をさらそうなど普通は思わないはずだ。
Perhaps it's the opposite.
逆？どういうことかな。
Precisely because I know Jack's madness, I can't possibly leave it be. Besides, now we can't capture Jack without exposing anyone to danger, right?
その誰もに君は入っていないのかい。
Is he trying to get her to say it's because she doesn't consider herself human? What? Sholmes squints his eyes, as if to look through me, as if to doubt me. I unconsciously step backwards, feeling like he's stripped me naked and exposed the heart that I've hidden.
どうも私には君が自分の命を軽視しすぎているように見える。まるで自分の命に価値はないと言わんばかりに。だからあの時もさほど躊躇なく自分の命をおとりにすると言い出した。反論はあるかな。
Actually, the choice that I did earlier leads to a normal end, and so does this one, so we'll see it again for the normal end. We're going to say that may be so. I wanted to deny it, but there's no way that I could. Even if I wasn't conscious of it, his insight reflected the truth. With Sholmes' wavering eyes, my false heart begins to pound faster. It tells me to avert my eyes. The staring at me are the eyes of a detective that uncovers hidden truths. I know, there's no fooling him. That may be so. As if enchanted by his magic, my lips move on their own. Because it's the truth. My life's worth probably is lighter than that of a normal person's. It was a feeling that had been tightening in my chest ever since we went to the underground research lab. Our grave markers that continued forever. The only difference between me and the 665 corpses is simply my compatibility with the horologium. Other than that, there are no differences. I I don't deserve love because I'm a doll. I'm so weak. I didn't want to say it, but once I did, just like tears, I couldn't hold back any longer.
君は人でないから、その命を投げ出してもいいと。
There's that too, but it's not just that. Shoulders down and head drooped, I quietly speak, like a sinner in a confessional. Herlock Sholmes, you've convicted people for their crimes in many cases up to now, right? Then please convict me of my crime next.
君の罪とは？
I killed someone in the past. It was a story from 2 years ago, far too soon for it to be forgotten, but far too long to correct it. My memories of my sin. 2 years ago, after breaking my promise with father and leaving the mansion, I met a woman in the outside world. Elaine. The only person in my life who didn't treat me like a monster, up until I met Lupin and the others. But she is gone. Her body slowly became colder, affected by the poison that enshrouds me. And Eddie, whose mother was killed, lashed me with her anguished voice. My sin from then still has not been atoned for even now. After I confessed everything, Sholmes simply kept silent. Tell me, Sholmes, what should I do about this crime? What should I do to atone? Lionheart said that there will be retribution for those who kill. Jack said that I should repent for my sins with death. Then perhaps Sholmes, this great detective, might be able to find the answer to the suffering that has lingered in my chest for too long. But in stark contrast to my vague hope,
私は探偵であって法律家ではない。君の苦しみに答えを出すことはできない。
Sholmes says as much matter-of-factly. I see. Sholmes answers with a quiet smile as I cast my head down in disappointment. It was a very calm smile, yet a somewhat sad smile.
私だけでなく、君にも答えは出せない。いや、出してはいけないはずだ。
What do you mean?
君が贖罪を求めているのならば、許しを下せる人間は2人しかいない。今は亡きエレインという女性か、エティという少女だけだ。どうか忘れないでほしい、カルディア君。君を許すのは君ではない。贖罪と称して命を投げ出したところで、それはただの自己満足でしかない。それは決して許しにはならないんだ。
Sholmes's words stabbed my chest, as if to untangle my misunderstanding. That's right. What have I done since that day after I ran away after committing my sin? Nothing. Nothing but a life of solitude in that mansion, even without apologizing to and seeking atonement from the one who was hurt the most. What have I been doing all this time? My sight slowly begins to waver. I can't put strength into my legs. I lose my strength and I am close to crumbling when I feel a soft sensation. He's so nice to a complete stranger. I realize that I'm against his chest. I can hear his heartbeat. I can feel his warmth even through my clothes. And if I wanted to, my poison-developed hand can cause him harm. Sholmes, get back. If you touch my skin, the poison will...
断る。よく女心がわからないとワトソン君には怒られているが、こんな時に胸を貸せないほど無粋な男ではないつもりだよ。
Just like when he ate that scone, he gently pulls me in without hesitation.
いつか君が許しを求めに行く時は、 私も一緒に行かせてもらうよ。君がどれだけ苦しみ悲しんだのか、それを代わりに語る人間が一人くらいいてもいいだろう。
Thanks, Sholmes. A cold tear runs down my warmed cheek.
君は先ほど自分が愛されてはいけないと言ったね。ならばきっともう遅い。
I know he's witnessed firsthand how your friends love you so much. Also, I thought her tears burned on her cheeks too, in another route. Oh, whatever.
君が傷つけば悲しむ人たちがいる。ルパンたち、ワトソン君、そして私も。もうみんなきっと心のどこかで君という存在を宿しているのだから。
You're loved by so many people. That would make me
だか
cry
ら
too.
君はもっと自分のことを愛してあげるべきなんだよ。
I can't bury my body into his chest. But even so, as if to search for that warmth, I grasped his chest tightly. Ah, so that's what it feels like. Maybe I just wanted forgiveness. Forgiveness for the sadness I caused once before that wouldn't go away. Just that single forgiveness. Poor Cardia. He's so sad.
ああ、だが皮肉な話だね。自分の言葉を誰よりも私自身が信じられないなんて。
Because his story is pretty similar to yours, too. And the sun cedes its position to the moon, and the stars shine brightly across the entire sky. I feel like that's not a complete sentence. Even now, the city adorns itself in the bright lights, unwilling to capitulate with those stars. I don't know what that means. The sleepless city, Whitechapel. As I step foot into London's premier red light district, I walk the alleys alone, just as Sholmes and I had planned.
姉ちゃん迷子か？こんなとこ一人で歩いてたらどうなっても知らねえぞ。
何しろ俺らみてえな奴らがいるからな。
Why would anyone be proud to say
ちょっ
that?
とあんた、客取ろうってんならよそに行きな。
ここはあたしらの島なんだからね。商売の邪魔だよ。
Alright, I'm in a hurry. Getting mixed up with this kind of trouble would defeat the purpose of the plan. Just as Sholmes and the others advised, I walked down the street at a fast pace as I do my best to ignore the surroundings. Jack's incidents should be common knowledge, but the red light district is as lively as ever. I passed through the weakened crowd, a drunk and lively folk who act as if to say that the incidents don't concern them. I walked for a good hour around the same area. Nothing so far. I keep my guard up in anticipation of my surprise attack, which eats away at my mental stamina faster than I had anticipated. I slow down my pace, beginning to feel exhausted. Friday is the beginning of the weekend, but there were victims on both Saturdays and Sundays too. I suppose that means he won't necessarily come out today. I direct my eyes to the surroundings. It may not be even he attacked, so the yard and soldiers are dispersed around the area, patrolling the whole Whitechapel. But at least Sholmes and the others should be watching me from close by, moving at my pace. I can't see him, but I know he's watching over me. Just imagining it, it makes me feel strangely calm.
だから君はもっと自分のことを愛してあげるべきなんだよ。
Every step I take, Sholmes' words echoes back to me. Remembering them makes my fake heart feel as though it's become warmer. Am I allowed to love myself? Am I allowed to love others? To love someone, I suddenly notice an emotion welling up in my heart. What that emotion is, I'm not sure myself. but I want to give it form somehow, so I place my hand over my chest as if to hold it gently. This small, fleeting feeling. A sensation that warms my body, and surely an important one. What do I even call this emotion that feels so dear to me? As my mind wanders. It didn't give me a chance to sort out my leisurely thoughts.
探したよ。こんなところにいたんだね。
Jack the Ripper. In the deepest of the deep alleys, graced by not even the sun's rays, even during noon. Of the place where only darkness gathers, when day turns to night, Jack looms. It's like it like rhymed without even trying to. He glares at me absently without anything like a surprise attack. To appear so nonchalantly, even in this complex alley, I'm caught off guard and hurriedly take on a defensive stance. 痛いよ。I can't tell from over his clothes, but his leg is presumably still injured from my poison as he drags it, closing the distance between us rigidly. His behavior reminds me of a broken doll rather than that of a human's.
神様の声も聞こえなくなった。ママも僕を見捨てた。全部お前のせいだ。
With a quick backstep, I dodge the scissors that he suddenly swings. Jack doesn't follow up the attack, only muttering like a madman. He wasn't right in the head the first time we met, but now he can't even hold a simple conversation.
お前は罪深い羊なんかじゃない。もっと汚らわしい存在だ。
That's just because you're mad at her.
僕の邪魔をする悪魔だ。悪魔め、怪物だ。
Voice that torments me, calling me a monster. It's indistinguishable from the voice that screamed at me sometimes in the past. As if to cut off the harsh words, a sharper voice interrupts.
悪魔？怪物？
He's like, who, what, her?
残念ながら、そう責め立てる君の方が、私にはよほど悪魔に見えるがね。
Sholmes, look out! Jack is clearly...
心配はいらない。すぐに終わる。
I know, didn't you see him fight on the train? The atmosphere shakes as Sholmes takes the stance holding the hand out. An unfamiliar stance, completely different from the various forms of martial arts that Van Helsing drilled into my head. At a glance he looks like he's wide open to attack. That's obviously not the full picture. Shrieking like a wild animal, Jack leaps at Sholmes. But Sholmes dodges as if to use Jack's moment against him, throws him to the ground. I like how they flipped the entire screen upside down.
ハサミというのは本来戦闘に向いた武器ではない。刃がついているのは確かだが、殺傷力で言うならばナイフの方がよほど鋭い上に手軽だからね。
He doesn't like stabbing though.
それでも君があえてハサミを用いるのは人を怯えさせ苦しめるため。悪魔は君の方じゃないか、ジャック・ブラックマン。
Leading with anger towards evil, Sholmes puts even more strength into his arms.
痛いのはやだ。ママ助けて。
逃れようとしても無駄だよ。力を加えれば加えるほどより深く締まるよう関節を決めている。 君の力が常人離れしているという情報は事前に仕入れてあるのでね。
Sholmes, that's enough.
やりすぎ。冗談だろ。犠牲者の心情を考えるとこれでも全く足りないくらいさ。
I know, he's not doing anything, right? He's just squeezing him really hard. Crying as he's dragged out under the moonlight, Jack seems like a small child. He hardly seems like the same person that I met in the sewers. But Sholmes doesn't show a single fragment of pity. Analyzing his words steeped in madness, Sholmes speaks in a detached tone.
君が母親から虐待を受けていたということは調べがついている。ママというのがそれを指すとして、先ほど神の声と言っていたね。その神とは何を指している？
神様は締められた僕に力を、汚れたやつを殺せばいいって。どんなに汚れた女だって死に際の恐怖だけはとても美しい。だからきれいに浄化しろって。
それを君に言ったのは誰だ？どこであった？答えろ！
Yeah, super angry.
待ちたまえ、ショルメ殿。それ以上やったら死んでしまうぞ。
Watson and Lionheart rush over to interrupt. Then, instead of coming to his senses right then, he loosens his tightened grip on the culprit.
どうやらうまくいったみてえだな。
ああ。だが、今回彼があっさり捕まったのは、おそらく黒幕に見放されたからだ。不要であればおもちゃのように切る。そういう男だ。この事件の黒幕は。
Handing Jack over to Lionheart, Sholmes mutters exhaustedly.
すまない。後を頼むよ、レオン君。少し疲れた。風に当たらせてもらう。
Ah, wait, Sholmes. Sholmes walks away at a fast pace as if to avoid glances. Feeling uneasy, I quickly follow after him. Stepping out into the silent back alley, the bustle of the city returns once more. Men staggering drunkenly, holding booze. Women calling to prospective customers in the front of stores. None of them are aware that a mad killer was lurking but a few turns away. Sholmes quietly stands there staring at the crowd. Sholmes, are you all right?
大丈夫とは？
You were a little scary back there. It was like you were a different person.
別人か。なるほど。面白い例えだね。
He laughs, throwing his glance to the sky, as if to glare at the fog-covered stars in the night sky. What's on your mind, Sholmes?
私が考えることはいつも一つさ。事件のすべてを暴き出すこと。そして、黒幕を引きずり出すための手立てさ。
St. Paul's Cathedral, Twilight Headquarters. You mean these people right here? Alistair was visiting Finn as the leader of Twilight.
少し構わないかね、フィニス。
ああ、アレスターか。姉さんを捕まえてくれたの？
No.
いや、残念ながらそちらは難航しているよ。本来は私も注力すべきだろうが、どうも私は先にやるべきことがあるようだ。とりあえずはこれを読んでくれないか。
新聞？
He quickly glosses over the newspaper that was handed to him. All he can see is everyday articles, nothing out of the ordinary. Criticism towards infeasible policies, a report about a fire, a classified ad for something or other. Dennis grimaces as he looks through the paper's uncultivated articles.
これがどうかした？特に目を引く記事はないようだけど。
Nothing of Jack's capture.
ああ、君にとってはそうだろうさ。そこに書かれている情報は私にしか読み取れないものだからね。
何が言いたい？アレスター。
要するに。そろそろ遊びの時間は終わりだという話さ。
The information there is only something that you can read. So what? Were you just distracted him so you can backstab him?
お前、何を？
すまないね、フィーニス。君の父上の計画は実に素晴らしい。それは今でもそう思っているよ。だから本当はもう少し君の夢に、いや、アイザックの夢に付き合ってあげようと思っていたのだが、どうも残念ながら私を待っている相手がいるようでね。
Is Sholmes waiting for you?
そんな理由で。
I mean, we did hear them talking to one another at the beginning of his route, so I guess that's not a spoiler. But Alistair stabbing Finnis is just like in Van Helsing's route. He must know how to make you not immortal.
僕は父様の計画を裏切るのか？
He's in like what? Oh, for someone waiting for you.
裏切る？そんなつもりはないさ。だが必要ならば私は全てを捨てよう。彼との決着のために。一丁前に苦しむじゃないか。死に恐怖を感じぬ人形を壊したところで楽しくはないんだがね。
よくわかってるじゃないか。そうさ、僕を殺しても意味はない。僕は不死身なんだから。
Painful just listening to him talk like this.
僕に逆らったことを後悔しろ。次に会った時には。
おや、不死身という表現は少々誇張が過ぎるのではないかな。いくらバックアップがあったとしても一体一体は普通の肉体だろうに。
アレスタ、なぜそれを知って。
He knows how to shut you down.
私も伊達に長い間君の片腕を務めていたわけではないよ。見ての通り、黄昏の全権はほぼ私の手の中にある。君の不死の原因もまたしかりだ。さて、長年勤めた黄昏をやめるのだ。退職金ぐらいはもらっても構うまい。
あれさ
ただの人形とはいえ、断末魔はそれなりに悪くない。
He's like, shut up.
さて、では後始末といこうか。
Smiling as if delighted by death, Alistair turns towards the Twilight Soldiers.
諸君、もう承知だとは思うが、フィーニスは我々の長でありながら、我々を欺き、裏切り続けてきた。
Has he though?
よって、粛清せねばならない。すべてのフィーニスを殺せ。
The Twilight Soldiers leave with Alistair's orders. I wonder how many body doubles he has. After seeing them off, he stares at the newspaper once more, not even looking down at the corpse of Venice. A light dwelt in his swaying eyes, like that of a child yearning for his dreams.
開口の時は近いようだ。待っていたまえ、名探偵。
Oh look, he revealed it. Chapter 3. This is where we're going to be stopping the episode for here. I hope for some of you, Sholmes' route has gotten a little bit more interesting. I really like Sholmes, so I hope you guys also enjoy him as well, as much as I do. I'm going to try to get this recorded tonight so I can get it out. It's going to be late, but since I'm back at home, that's going to be a little bit off track for a bit until I can get multiple episodes recorded at once. And then I can start editing them and putting them back on a release schedule. But unfortunately, I won't be able to read any more Guilt until tomorrow, but it is what it is. My husband's going to be going back to work tomorrow, so I'll have plenty of time to read lots of Otobi games tomorrow. So I'm looking forward to getting back into that. I just had to satisfy myself with other Otomi games that are not going to be released on my channel. Actually, I'm rereading another one. I finished Symphony Kiss, and that one wasn't very story-based. It was more character development, and the story was kind of like an afterthought, so it wouldn't have really made for a good one for the channel anyway, I don't think. I know some people probably do like more of the character development and the romance side of things than the story, and this one was definitely one of those, but a little bit on the mature side of things, something I probably wouldn't have been comfortable reading on my channel anyway. And now I'm rereading Pio Fiore. I'm rereading that so I can read the fan disc. I actually haven't read much of the fan disc. I've only read one of the routes, and it was incredibly boring. So then I stopped. Even though I really like the character, it's like I wanted to see more of the romance go on, but it was more of the story side of things going on than the romance, and that the romance was kind of an afterthought in that one. But the one I'm really looking forward to is like the bad mafia boss. So Pure Fury is a Otomi game with mafia bosses as the love interests, and there's 3 of them. And there's 5 total, but there's 3 bosses. And I really enjoyed the bad boss, I guess, the one that's not really nice. So I'm rereading his route so I can read the fan disc of his route. but so much happens in that game that all the routes kind of jumble in together because then I don't remember who died in what route. So I have to reread it all so I can clarify who's dead and who's not dead in the fan disc. But anyway, that's also a mature rated game, but more so for the blood and gore side of it than the romance side. Anyway, enough of that. I guess this would be a good time to mention I am starting a second channel for streaming and for JRPG games, as well as, I don't know, probably Sims 4 and then Sword Art Online non-MMO. I mean, it's a multiplayer online game, but it's not a massive multiplayer online game, so wherever that categorizes as. But I've been wanting to play some RPGs as well, and they're not going to really fit very well on my channel of Atomi games. The interests of the two will clash with each other, and I don't think it will be very good for the readers, having to dislike the videos that they don't want to show up on their feeds and stuff like that or whatever. So, making a whole new channel for RPGs and streaming, and I have it set up already, but I don't have anything to post on it yet. So as soon as I start posting stuff, I'll leave a link in my description on this channel if you guys want to check it out on the RPG side of things. I'm going to be starting a Sims 4 Black Widow challenge because the Love Strike pack just came out and I saw the mention of a Black Widow challenge. I'm like, you know what, that sounds fun. So I'm going to do one myself. I've never done any kind of challenges in The Sims whatsoever. It's been purely for my own enjoyment, but I have a couple Sims that I want to play with, and so I gotta look up the rules and see how this is supposed to play out. It's going to be interesting. I don't know if I'll live stream it or if I'll just post my video after I'm done. It's not going to be like an edited down video like this. It's going to be in the format of a live stream, but it wasn't filmed live, sort of thing. I played like 10 minutes of the Love Strike pack, and my Sims already wanted to divorce each other. So I don't understand. Like, they were happily married. These are like my oldest Sims ever. These are not the ones I'm playing with, but I have a pair of married Sims, and one of them, the wife wanted to go on a date, so we went on a date. And after they were done with their date, he, I don't know, made a flirtatious comment or whatever, and she wanted a divorce. I'm like, whoa, we're not getting a divorce. Like, what the heck? So I had to go adjust some things in MC Command Center and in their romantic boundaries so she doesn't immediately get jealous if he does a little wave at someone or whatever. So it was really frustrating. Anyway, if you guys did drop a thumbs up down below. I greatly appreciate it. Subscribe if you want to see more of Code Red Lies and Keep It Parasite, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.